Villains have their own rules that they must follow. Isn't that right, S?
What are heroes, if not normal people who make heroic decisions? About 50% of the people are 100% on your side. The other 50% are literally posting wanted posters everywhere.
Of my face?
Of you and your primary guild members. You, too, can be a great hero. And who knows, maybe this story needs you to be one.
I know somebody who uses a trident.
Okay. And he's a good guy who wants to help us beat Camille, right?
Now, we don't really have a leader who is in charge of this outfit.
No, not really, but I'm willing to take it if that means getting out of this game and saving everybody.
And welcome back to another episode of the Odd Campaign. I am your GM and host for this series session and episode, none other than Quentin Ott, and I am joined by my three lovely players. Sound off.
Hello, I'm lovely player number 1. My name is Emily, and normally I play Snow, but Snow is not here anymore. But today I am playing Odette. Odette is accompanied by her cute little pseudo dragon, Indiana.
Yes, hello.
Yes, very
I'm apparently incredibly perceptive in specifically forests.
No, surviving in forests. I don't know why.
Okay.
Hello, I am Jonathan, and usually I play Tama, but he is also not here today. So I will be playing a character called Larry.
Larry
Or
boy.
His in-game name is Lucian.
So the question is, are we calling you Larry or Lucian?
It's going to be Lucian.
Well, it
in-game.
depends, yeah.
He's going to introduce himself as Lucian. He's not.
So you're never going to know his real
That's perfect.
name.
So that's all we need.
And I am lovely player number 3. Number 2 didn't introduce himself as a lovely player, but he's lovely nonetheless.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
I don't know.
you
We
should
don't
have-
know this
yeah.
character yet. So,
Well, but you're the player.
Maybe he's not lovely.
I usually play Zana, and guess what? That's who I'm playing today. As she faces off in what very well might be a emotional battle as well as physical.
Then she forgot about me.
I didn't forget about you, man. I'm just trying to handle everything, okay? You gotta realize I'm dealing with that. I'm gonna lose you.
There's a lot going on.
Then again, I don't think I'll be able to get your voice out of my head for years.
If you would like to submit a condescending comment for Alistair to read, go ahead and do so right
So
now.
we do not
Alistair-
encourage our
Alistair's-
comment section to bully
Alistair
our players.
Crow's condescending comment.
There you go. If you have any condescending comments you would like to direct to any character in the Odd Guild, we'll create a new chat for you in our Discord. Shameless plug. Please join. It's in the description below. Well, without any further ado, because I feel like that's been more than enough, last time on the Odd Campaign, our intrepid heroes said some somber goodbyes with numerous members of the guild who took the gamble of Camille's offer to leave the game. What happened to those who left? Well, that's a story for another time, not today. Because today, we are going to shine the light on those who stayed behind to fight the good fight. Those who are attempting to free not only themselves, but the rest of the player base. Will our remaining heroes be able to defeat their opponent? Certainly not with their current numbers. So today, we will be embarking to see how our adventurers rally the troops on this week's episode of the Odd Campaign.
And this took him 4 months to write the intro.
No, okay, listen. It took me more. We had a hiatus. It did not take me that long to write a single paragraph. I came with that paragraph in 5 minutes. Thank you. Those who have remained have decided that their first stop in order to gather support of those who remain in the city of Puaz. So we pan in on our scene. The great and mighty player unionized autonomous zone Oh, that's right, it was an acronym this whole time. You may have forgotten. So Puaz, or at least what's left of it. The streets are empty, the sky is bleak, and the buildings are in a state of disrepair. It seems as if the authoritarian display of force aimed at quelling mass gatherings has had a lasting impact on this township at large. It was none other than Zana who was leading the charge. You find yourself with what remains of the Odd Guild.
I can see why Draken didn't like having this shoved on him. These public speeches. Oh, I think my tummy is sick. Crystal, do you have any more of that calming tea?
Oh, you had a calming tea?
Oh my gosh, Crystal!
I just gave you, coffee. That's a diuretic. It's gonna make you have to go more, not less.
It also gave me lots of energy. I am so ready just to be here and to watch everyone stare at us. Just imagine that we are in our underwear and everyone else is pulling clothes.
I don't think that's how that's supposed to go, Odette.
What do you mean? I think it makes perfect sense.
Surprisingly, though everyone assumed he was leaving, Grundle is still around.
Wait a minute, Grundle, I thought you left.
I started thinking about things, on a more deep and logical level. While, yes, I would like to get out of the game, I did remember that I owed a handful of individuals money. The longer I can prolong that interaction, the better it is for my health.
All right, so, Zana, you see those people over there?
Yeah.
The ones that are in the front? You're going to talk to them?
Uh-huh.
You are in your underwear. They're fully clothed. Everything is going to go great.
I'm actually in my dope outfit that I totally
You're not
steam
wearing
pressed.
underwear?
I don't think that information is relevant.
I was just saying, I would hope, just in case you wet yourself or something, that way it catches it a little. Anyway, good luck with that. We'll be here on the sideline cheering you on.
All right, here I go. She stiffly walks up.
So you make your way to the large open-air amphitheater where public guild meetings are made. You had previously reached out to the leader of MMEO, Roger Katlenberg, to make sure that all of the remaining guild leaders are present. The keyword there being remaining and interested guild leaders. As you arrive, you notice that the amphitheater has 10 seats that have their own kind of outcropped hangings. However, only 6 of them are currently being populated.
I guess I step to the center. Do they stop talking, or are they waiting for me?
They've kind of just been waiting, kind of sitting there. These box seats up in the amphitheater are fairly spread apart. So unless you are actively attempting to project your voice, your conversation isn't going to be picked up from one box to the other. And it seems as if the guilds have their internal murmurings within themselves, but no one has grabbed or captivated their attention yet.
Zana's gonna take a deep breath, capture her thoughts before she speaks with all this nervous energy. This is for everyone. This is something we can do. And I would like to roll my diplomacy before I speak.
Let's see how good your speech is.
36. Ladies and gentlemen, we stand on the brink of a great battle. A moment that will define our fate of our world. Not just this one, our real world. Before us lies a formidable enemy, an evil, cunning woman who weaves her schemes with terrifying intellect. She commands armies of power and influence, and her grasp stretches far and wide. Many believe her, and many believe she is unbeatable. But we, yes we, are here to tell you that with the power of unity, we can do it.
You see by one of the box seats a man in full plate white armor with a fur cloak rolling down his shoulders with long blonde hair stand up. He's standing underneath the banner with blue trim and a gold lion roaring right in the center.
I, Alec the Lionheart Whitestone, representing the largest guild, Guild Mercy, do hear your call for aid, but question as to what battle and enemy you refer.
Her name is not one you are unfamiliar with. She is Camille Le S'cimice, and she is more than she seems. Not just an overseer of Araveldum, putting herself at the highest pedestal she could. She's an administrator of the game that keeps us prisoner. And we know where her administrative chamber is, or at least we have an idea. Do you understand what that means? Do any of you understand what that actually means for us trapped here? This isn't just a silly battle or a quest we're gonna get on our board. This is something deliberately hidden from us, and it's the way out for everyone.
Another member, an individual who grasps at a powerful-looking staff with a red cloak and what seems to be caster's garments, stands up, his shoulder-length brown hair flowing, and out from it you can see his elf ears are peeking. He stands underneath a red banner with a flaming phoenix rising from the ashes.
I give him a smile. I'm surprised you made it.
Well, especially once I was told who would be giving the presentation. Tell us then, if we are not to trust Camille, why should we trust you?
Because I don't tell lies. There's literally detect lies or something. I know some people have it.
There's a difference between telling a lie and obscuring the truth. Absence of information can still be very misguiding.
Is there any information you have? Any helpful things you have to say? Please, I'm all ears.
I don't inherently question the cause, but rather the leader.
You've always been a bad judge of character.
Odette kind of leans over to one of the other members in the group.
Wait, who is this guy? Why does he seem to know who Zana is?
Both of the girls kind of huddle around you and just pull out little cards and just huddle around, getting in almost a semicircle-esque. That's Zana's previous guild leader?
Her boyfriend?
No one said that. Oh my gosh, that would be so scandalous. That's not at all what's going on here. You don't understand. Back when Zana was on the first floor, she joined up with a startup guild called the Phoenix Feathers, which is now, yes, one of the larger guilds, but that's mostly because the other one's disbanded. But the point is, okay, listen, when they were going through, so Snow and everyone, they went through the forest on the eastern front with the elves and the forest and everything.
Can we skip the good part?
Sure. Zana ended up going the western part, which is the Dwarven city, and there was a whole big giant goblin tunnel that you had to go through. And that's the regular way you're supposed to go. She was going with all the Phoenix Feathers until they found out about Zana's secret past. And then they abandoned her in the middle of the cavern and kicked her out of the group. So they have real deep history going way back.
Oh, that's very intense.
This was all part of a backstory that no one was ever supposed to know. Or it was either that or supposed to be introduced 3 seasons ago.
You can question me all you want, but I'm here fighting for others, not myself. I'm willing to put myself on the line for others. See that? See how I'm not doing this out of my own selfish regard? See how I'm not standing up here because I want all of the attention? I'm standing here because I know I can make a difference to save people. Can you say the same? What's his name?
He was your guild leader. You gave me his name.
I'm so sorry. I forgot your name. What was that? Every time I bumped into you in this game, you're doing something to promote yourself. And you're not strengthening yourself so you can protect others better. You're strengthening yourself so that you can feel better about yourself and crappy things you do to people.
I'm sorry, have I not provided opportunity for all those who are associated with me? Is that not the definition of provision?
Those you allow to associate with you. You forgot that.
Yes, I generally try not to make a habit out of associating myself with literal murderers and thieves.
Okay.
You're correct.
I am not a murderer. I have never murdered anyone, even in this game. I have, however, done a lot of bad things. Because where I grew up, you had to do what you could to survive. And in my house, if you didn't, you got beat. You got the whip. You got the belt. You got whatever knuckles were available. Do you know what I decide to do with that? Instead of continuing to hurt people, I decide to make a change in myself. And I have a lot more power than you think. Not just in this game.
I think she just threatened him. She's going to whoop his butt.
Apparently they're going to throw hands at any opportunity.
So tell me, Asher, other than my past, what do you have a problem with? Or are you too prideful to actually pick up the sword and fight for what is right? You always want to claim. You love justice. You love being this great guy. Your motives are selfish. So prove me wrong. I'm going to say this with intimidate, actually. Because I feel like that other thing, it was subtly a threat. Yeah, he just the prissy boy from a white neighborhood. He's actually picking on someone who knows the mafia. And he wants to look down on him just because your daddy's like a CEO or whatever. What was that? Oh, 29.
Yeah, you rolled an 8.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I must roll single digits.
I didn't realize Zana was so intimidating. My goodness.
You can see as his face sours and he grimaces. As I mentioned, nothing against the course of action, only the leader.
Then I won't lead. If that's what it takes for you to join, Asher, I will give all of my intelligence and battle plans to someone more competent with leading a bigger group. Because you're right. I don't have any experience in leading a group. All I know is what's about to happen.
Alec of Guild Mercy speaks up once again.
Truly, I say unto you, do we not all have a past? Is it not what we choose to do with our future as we move forward that defines who we are as people? She stands here before us asking for our aid, not for her own benefit, but for the benefit of everyone here. So, Council, let us vote.
And you see as a number of hands begin to rise. Everyone seems to be in agreement. Alec of Guild Mercy, Iris of Guild Perdita. There seems to be Goose raising his wing.
No way, we got the freaking goose. Oh my gosh.
Roger Katlenberg of MMO, who you contacted previously, and even Gladys Goldman is apparently one of the major guild leaders at this point.
I think I had my first tea time with her.
Snow's arch rival that they encountered once or twice.
But everyone seems to be in agreement to provide aid. Avian speaks up once again. I have no qualm with you leading whatever party you deem fit, but let me say this. I have an enthusiastic member who wishes to more directly deal with Camille, something I presume that you and your guild, as you have the most pertinent information, will be tackling head-on. So, not only to curb his own excitement, but also to keep an eye on you. I will be sending you Lucian. I'm sure you won't complain, as he is a cleric, and those are generally in short supply these days.
Asher, one more thing. She takes a deep breath. It looks very, very, this is almost constipated,
That's definitely the description.
Quite the face. Thank you for the mental image.
Calms, looks him directly in the eyes. I'm sorry, and I forgive you. And with that, she walks off stage. Because I assume that's the meeting. They're going to meet up in some sort of council. Are we explaining the details here? I will stay on stage if I need to. But they all said they would help. I just got to get them the information.
Yeah, more or less. So we can yada yada in the background, but Asher Avian is basically sending to meet up with your party one Lucian, as you have been told, who is approaching.
I assume he's approaching where my guild is.
Yeah, he's meeting up with the rest of the guild.
Which is where I am walking. My hands are shaking. Okay. That went so well. That went surprisingly well. Did that go well? Am I telling
A
myself that
phenomenal job, dear Zana. I couldn't have done it better myself.
Oh my gosh. I don't believe that statement, but I appreciate it.
I mean, besides threatening the guy, I think it was pretty good.
What threats?
Sometimes, girls gotta do what a girl's gotta do.
Well, I mean, threatening to beat his ass is a little
I
strange.
didn't threat I didn't threaten any of that. I wouldn't touch his booty with a 10-foot pole. That was Southern. And also not relevant.
It's okay, the same thing happens to me every once in a while.
Somebody beats your ass with a 10-foot pole?
No, I occasionally speak with a southern accent in not entirely relevant circumstances.
Here he comes. Hello, Lucian?
Yes, hello. And I will be joining you for this.
I guess you will be. I assume you're a newer addition to the Phoenix Feathers, or have you been with them for a couple months? I don't know. I'm out of the loop.
I've been with them for a few months. I was wandering around by myself for a little while, but I have some motives that they kind of aligned with, so I joined them.
Apparently, everyone was wandering around by themselves for a very long time before they joined the guilds. It's great.
I mean, that's what me and Grog did. We were just rolling around the highlands of the first floor.
Yeah, no, I pretty much joined up with a guild right away. I don't know why everyone just likes to wander around alone all the time. It's so weird.
I mean, I joined Guild Mercy almost as soon as everything broke out.
You're normal. That is why you are a legendary hero.
Aha! I am normal! Yes!
Aw, I can never be that. Too much childhood trauma.
Wow,
Just an
these
awkward
are
silence.
truly some great introductions here, gang.
This is quite the interesting party you have here.
Yeah, I guess everybody should actually, say their names. I'm Zana.
This is my legendary hero. This is just S.
He just points to the name tag above his player.
What does this Lucian look like? I am clearly blind and he has not been described to anybody.
You're right.
So, Lucian has shoulder-length brown hair, brown eyes, and a well-trimmed full beard. He's about 5'10", and looks like he weighs about 160.
I'm a good judge of size. I can tell that you're the average for an adult male within the United States and about 180 pounds.
He looks very average, like the average Joe from your backyard.
I kind of just set all the sliders to middle.
Oh, very average. Well, hello, my name is Odette, and this is my pseudo dragon, Indiana.
And he just flicks his tail so you can see that there's a ring right on the base of it.
He eats insects and mice.
Okay, this is taking a little too long. That red one is Grog, the small one is Crystal, the armored one is Galahad,
Uh-huh.
and the animal girl is Selena.
Hi.
Oh, you forgot about me. Oh,
I didn't.
hey.
I didn't forget.
And who are you?
Oh, hi. The name is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
His name is Grundle.
Looks up at his name tag.
No, don't worry about that.
Should I shake his hand?
His name is
Um,
Arnold?
If you plan on washing it soon, yes.
You set all the sliders to medium. I set them to their extremes.
Grundle, when did your name change?
What do you mean? You can pay for it with in-game currency.
Wait, you
Oh.
just responded to your name. So is your name Grundle or
No,
Arnold?
it's Arnold. I need that to change for legal purposes. A contract can't be binding if your name legally changed.
I don't know how laws work in this
you
world.
I'm
know
pretty sure
this
that is
doesn't-
not how that works.
You know, you're just paying for it to change your name in the game, not in real life.
Shh. Don't tell the IRS.
So what are we doing? Where are we going?
So,
All right, maybe we just go and regroup and figure out what we're doing next from here, especially since you said you have to share information with
yeah, I
them.
figured we were gonna meet up in a kind of
Yes,
more
SSU.
house or
Isn't there the hidden underground base that Stefan used underneath headquarters?
yeah.
We can go there, yes.
Hey guys, I'd rather not say this sensitive information / war plan from down here. Yeah, could you follow us?
Hey, how about we add you on the friends list?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, so
You just get notifications popping up, an invite from each guild leader.
I've never made so many friends in a day. Group message. Meet us here. The thing is, Zana would believe that Camille could somehow access the logs with her administrative power.
It's true.
And it's probably one of the reasons she has so much information. So she would want to do an in-person meeting. I'm just going to tell them to meet me at the HQ Tavern.
So, after a handful of minutes after the public meeting had adjourned, you sent out messages to all the pertinent guild leaders telling you to have a more private meeting at headquarters, the local tavern in the town of Puaz, and you make your way to the normally bustling hotspot, though nowadays it is less densely packed, as you can see only but a few members of the Eastland Raiders actually still frequent this location.
Is he there?
Aquila is in his regular seat. He's got his corner table with his 10 goons all surrounding him, though they seem to be slightly more stoic, not as jovial and boisterous as they regularly are.
Oh, shoot. Well, they work for Camille. There's a back entrance, right?
You do know that Stefan had a secret hidden back entrance that he would utilize in order to bring in his vehicles.
Using my crow?
Mm-hmm.
First, I am going to show my teammates where the secret entrance is, kind of before everyone gets there, and let them in. I will also tell them to greet everybody and make sure they get in safely, because we can't go in through the front entrance.
Sure.
I am going to hide in an alley, and with my crow, I'm going to guide people divertly to the back entrance.
So for that, I'm going to need you to roll a stealth check to see if this plan goes noticed.
Do we maybe want to try and wait it out for evening?
No, we need to plan this now. We're losing time already.
What time are we losing? You'll need to clarify with me because what is going on that we are rushing?
So, the big thing that was happening with all the nature spirits was kind of a crescendo to what I believe is about to happen. All of the missing people that we believe are in that underground base.
Wait, there were missing people. I keep forgetting there's apparently missing people underground.
I literally recapped this on the way here, Oda. Gallahan, can you recap it for her? I gotta go guide people in here.
Okay, I was on the same mission as you were.
Dang it.
But, Crystal, you investigated the missing people.
Oh, yeah. So, as we
here, read this. I hand them my notebook. Now, some of this is hard to read because it's
Why is there a duck? Why, there's so many ducks on all these pages.
She likes the whittle. Did you not get a housewarming gift?
They highlight important information. Look where their beaks start. That's the start of important information.
Oh my god, it has a giant mouth. It's just open.
I think that means it's all important. So pay very close attention.
It's so much.
Oh my gosh, I rolled a 5?
For a total of 25, it seems. So you all make it down to the secret underground bunker, which the majority of you are seeing for the first time.
Oh my gosh, I found a bucket!
Master, that is far from the coolest thing that is here.
Starts jiggling the bucket.
Have you seen this light switch? It makes the lights slightly dimmer. It's very powerful.
Stop playing with the light switch.
So, as you make your way in, you see on the left-hand side of the facility there is a carport where it does seem that there are numerous armored vehicles. Right next to it, there does seem to be an entire armory stocked with lockers and shelves that have all assortments of weapons and consumables. Right beyond it, on the far side, on the complete opposite side of the compound from you, there is a large kitchen. But in order to see that, you are looking over a large training arena centered smack dab in the middle of the entire compound. Immediately to your right as you're walking in, it does seem like there are bunk beds, tons of them. Enough to sleep all of your guild and then some if need be. Enough for a small elite force to infiltrate just about anything. And of course, there's just a cozy little seating area recreationally, which seems to have enough tables and chairs within the immediate vicinity to host everyone and get down right into the thick of things, planning away. Zana, you were able to successfully sneak in all of the guild leaders, seemingly unnoticed. Aquila seems, though in low spirits, to be preoccupied with all of his guild members within headquarters.
All right. Looks like everybody made it here all right.
Oh my gosh, it's been so long, Zana.
Oh my gosh, Gladys. Really has been a long time.
It's been almost 4 months, sweetheart. In this game, I've seen 20 people die in that time period.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can avoid more people dying. Anyway, She flips through her notebook. So I have all of this jotted down. I'm going to have to separate the theories from what we have as confirmed facts, but, or maybe, anyway, here's a summary. Camille Le S'cimice. You know her. We hate her. She's involved with a lot of experimental projects in Araveldum. That's common knowledge. What's not common knowledge is how intricate that goes. She has access to all of the servers that hold our brain knowledge. That's how Araveldum is able to get all of your personal information without you sharing it. They already have it. She's an administrator of the game, which means she has a lot more control and power than us. But it doesn't mean she can do everything. She has to be at, what did Stefan said it was? Like an administrative keyboard table? What is that called? Console. She has to be at the console to do administrative things. Stefan is also an administrator, but with less power, and he was helping us. This is his lovely base. We don't even know if he's alive anymore.
What exactly is that supposed to mean?
Well, a while back, we sent him to investigate a really weird structure that we found, something that wasn't supposed to exist in the game. When we were out at sea, on this floor, we came into contact with the Qualipluks. They actually got me and Draken, dragged us down pretty far, but at the bottom of the ocean, in the middle of the glaciers, there was a portal. There was an opening with air. We went in kind of out of curiosity, but also because it really shouldn't have been there. And where we were teleported was an underground city. It seemed dark and glowing green, like this. And I hold up a piece of the glowing green metal, one of the weapons that we had.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure the only way we're going to be able to beat her there is with this. And I'll pull out the trident out of my inventory, which took a lot of trouble to get. By the way, any trident wielders here? Spear wielders?
Everyone kind of looks around, nervously shakes their head no.
Okay. That's cool. It's because you don't need to wield the spear of the trident. You just have to attune to its magical abilities, and you can breathe underwater, and you can make other breathe underwater, and I'm pretty sure you can move faster underwater.
What do you mean attune to it?
I'm pretty sure you gotta like with any magic item. That's this base, this glowing green underwater branching out base is where we're pretty sure she has her own portal systems to the world, as well as her administrative chamber. Or a console. Yeah, her administrative console. This is also where we believe a lot of the missing players ended up. When Stefan contacted us, we only got a brief transmission before it was cut off, but he was able to contact us from inside the base. He said he saw people walking around looking dazed, and whenever he tried to do anything, they wouldn't react, like they were brainwashed, like their minds weren't right. I think somehow Camille has to have them. She has to kidnap them, put them in some sort of something in order to create that transition. At least that's my theory. Because Draken, before he left, said that in the compound base of where one of her generals was working, there was a bunch of laboratory experimental stuff that wasn't supposed to be there, hidden underground. And he saw things and weird test tubes and kind of very vague science-y terms that he didn't really explain too well. But I'm pretty sure we can all see what's going on. Right? At least that's my theory. But most of the facts seem to converge into something like this. Either way, our plan of attack is to hit that base, hit it hard, and, well, our only other options are to hit the actual servers in-game, and I'm not sure how well that's going to work out. Because other than her base, which Camille still thinks is secret, I hope, the servers are going to be well protected. Oh my gosh, Odette, put down the gun.
This is amazing.
Look, I found a frag grenade!
Haha! Throw it to see what happens.
No explosives inside. Explosives outside. But not until the battle.
You want us to take it outside right now? I can do that, but...
Well, here comes the trouble. The reason why we had to come around this back entrance is because the Eastland Raiders, well, they're working directly for Camille. I tried to talk to them, but...
Ho, ho, ho. Sweet thing, there's a little bit more than just the Eastland Raiders. If you noticed, it wasn't just their seats that were missing. It just so happens that we believe that Arcanist, Anonymous, Epitaph, and the Fourth Seal, along with the Eastland Raiders, are all in cahoots with Camille. Supposedly, from the chit-chat that I've gathered on all the online forums, from what my bards were able to deduce, it seems as if she's promised to let them out of the game if they help her with her nefarious plan.
She's making that promise to other people, too. When we got this trident, we finished the quest. She came directly to us, something you don't see her do often. And to each one of my group members, she promised something or threatened something so horrible they couldn't refuse. Except for me. She tried to threaten my family. They don't take well to threats. And I could see through her little trick. I don't think she's actually going to let people out. I think she's going to manipulate their minds into thinking they were let out. She can do that. Like you're still trapped in the game, but you think you're free. I don't think what she's giving them is freedom.
Okay.
Alec speaks up.
From what I've heard, then, it sounds as if storming the base is our best option. However, you mentioned that it's underwater, and that the only entrance we know of to access it is through this underground cave network, deep in the glacial coast.
Yeah.
Or do you suppose that we get large enough scores of individuals and prepare them with the resources necessary?
I have one idea, but it's kind of bad.
That was a very strange laugh. Is everything okay?
Well,
Oh, don't worry. That's just the laugh you make when you're scheming.
see, we've used this mechanic before, but using it on this scale, it would warn Camille that we're coming.
Ne?
You know how you can set up a guild base? And as soon as you set up a base, everyone in that guild can teleport to it? Well, what if I set up my own guild and set our base to that damp cave? How many of you would join?
I don't think you can set it up in specific location. I don't know how it works. I think it has to be in a city kind of area.
Does it?
I don't know. I've never done it before. Maybe we can try
Does it just need to be in a house or a place?
I don't know.
I can set up something real quick. As long as it works as a teleportation point, that's one way. The other way, well, you know the big whale creature they were trying to kill?
No. I wasn't here for that.
I was talking to the other members of the guild who stay on the forums.
Oh, yeah. Was it that there was something about a bird that was flying overhead, and then they wanted to go shoot that, and then they were talking about a whale off the coast?
Well, they got the bird. His name was Den. Good friend, actually. The whale, however, I don't think they got him yet. Not that I heard. But he might be able to transport us. We would just have to go, maybe, inside his mouth.
You want to do a Jonah and the whale and go in a fish's mouth.
Well, think of it as Jonah and the whale, but also like the Trojan horse, but like the Trojan whale.
I'm not quite sure that all of us would fit in a whale. We're hoping to have, like, hundreds of players, right?
Yeah.
Not to mention, how do we get in contact with this whale?
You mentioned you got the trident on the 20th floor,
Yes.
which was underwater.
Yes.
Was there anything else useful there that could maybe help us?
Odette can roll a knowledge if you would like her to see if she can recall maybe something, hearing about something that could be useful there.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think. Everyone who was there besides Zana has left.
Can I roll for just my intelligence?
Knowledge local would be more appropriate, I think.
26.
You could roll a knowledge arcana to see if there's anything that you would know of that would potentially help you.
My check was a 21.
I'll start off with you, Odette. As you know that you are going to be going underwater, you know of spells that would aid in that, such as Air Bubble and Ride the Waves. These are spells that presumably could be produced en masse or purchased as potions from various vendors. Alternatively, you do also know that the staff, as Zana mentioned, does provide those benefits to individuals, but it can only do up to 10 people at a time.
She'll hold that information.
Zana, when you were there in the capital city of Thessalia, you recall your interactions with the king that you made in efficacy, who was the Monkey King, then turned king of the entire nation of Thessalia, who does have an incredibly high regard of you, as well as the princess and also priestess, Ghelfi,
Kelly!
who also absolutely adores you as you enabled the political discourse that allowed her to marry her one true love. From them, you do recall that there was the blessing of Valamos, the sea god that they worship, and when bestowed upon this blessing, it allowed you to breathe and move very quickly underwater. Not to mention, as the Thessalonian Empire is no longer at war, you could potentially request aid from some of their military in order to aid you on your expedition. Because they did make mention that the Abystian nation itself wasn't hostile, and in fact, Ghelfi's husband was an Abystian noble. They wanted peace with the Thessalonians, but there was mention of a rogue outpost deep in floor 20.
And it did match our description.
So it's quite possible that if need be, instead of traveling through the tunnels, you could travel through floor 20 with the aid of the Thessalian Empire.
There is a lot of stuff on floor 20. Oh my gosh, wait, no, how could I forget? That's... So... Wait, oh no, I'm so sorry. You guys wouldn't know this because none of you have been to floor 20. Gained access to floor 20 when we went through the portal, so it makes sense that we glitched the door open.
What are you
I have to
talking
think about this for a second. Shush, shush.
Okay.
Wait. She's pacing and tapping her head. If only any of my other friends who were there with me were here.
What is the problem? I'm so confused.
I'm pretty sure Camille's base, even though it's in a hidden location, it's on floor 20. Floor 20 is underwater, the majority of it anyway. The only part,
Sure.
but it takes forever to get to the capital. We don't have that type of time. But if I go there before we start our attack, I can teleport to the capital, ask for assistance from our friends there, and they might know where Camille's base is actually on floor 20. We still have to... How is this going to work? How do we get the blessing or even the gillyweed to you guys?
Well, the solution to that is the other guilds need to get the floor 20, period. That is how you access it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they need to go into the water, go down into the ocean and get to floor 20, which is probably accessed by breathing underwater. Again, I'm saying we might have to take some time to do it and we cannot rush. This is a war scheme, right? You have to take months to plan, bad months necessarily, but we have some time. So, if, for example, we use the staff and we get some of the other objects, you could obtain the gillyweed, for example, just to get people down deep enough, and we can obtain scrolls of ride the waves.
Air bubble.
People just go
water
down.
breathing.
They get down to the next floor, and then we are golden to make our next base of plans. We need to at least advance to the next part.
But like it was mentioned previously, if the creation of a guild hall restraint does confine you to making it within a city, could not we establish a guild hall in Thessalia once everyone has access to the 20th floor?
Gallahan, that's great!
Then we could just teleport all of the players to Thessalia and launch out our campaign from there.
You could. Absolutely.
Gallahan, that's it.
But wait,
That's
no.
all the pieces.
Oh, yeah,
we
no,
get them
you
there.
could.
We give them the blessings. We have our backup there as well. And they know where that base is, on floor 20. Also, going through the portal down there seems like the staff entrance, so I wouldn't...
But I would also be careful, because if your whole thing is that you're worried that Camille has eyes everywhere, putting a guild on the floor 20 and having a bunch of players suddenly appear there might seem a bit suspicious.
Exactly. That's why I mentioned with that plan, she would know we're coming. But here's the thing. She already does. She already knows we're coming. Us specifically, but she knows our plan. Don't make mistakes. She might know that we're coming together to try and beat her, but she doesn't know how. She doesn't know all the information we know.
Well, why does she know that we're coming to beat her now? Oh, wait. We announced it. That's right.
Yeah, well...
I'm pretty sure we did kind of slap her with a white glove, didn't we?
I'm pretty sure
We
that
kind of
happened.
poo-pooed all over a plan.
Nonetheless, she knows that she has resistance. It's why she's been gathering the other guilds. Less people to resist her, more people on her side.
What about you, Lucian? You seem like an older guy with probably more wisdom than us younger individuals.
Yeah, man, you've been startlingly quiet, but also, staring at everyone speaking.
Well, I don't have much knowledge of this other floor as I've never been there. I do have some spells that can help with being underwater. I mean, I have one, but I could always prepare more if we needed to. And I'm sure we have plenty of other casters that can also prepare those spells, or even make scrolls, so that way we can cast more of those types of spells.
That would be helpful. We do need people working on water-breathing spells.
Well, if that is the only thing holding us back, then I'm sure between the rest of us guilds we can manage to muster, whether it be through arcane and or alchemical acquirements, we can get the necessary materials. All I would need from you all is to give us the destination and inform us the best way of getting there.
Can do.
We'll get to floor 20 post-haste. Meantime, we will just wait for you to create the guild. Once the guild hall is set up, everyone here is in agreement, we can disband our guilds and reunite
Wait,
under one banner.
We technically aren't in a guild,
don't
are
you
we?
you could disband, but isn't there a whole merge thing? Or is that... I don't know how Snow and Draken did it. Dang it.
He just joined the guild.
Yeah, he had to disband Dark Guild.
Yeah, so wait, what are you now? Are you one of us? Ace.
He's been...
Points up
been
to
one of
S
us.
and where it says odd.
I've been ignoring reading your name tag because honestly, I just don't pay attention.
He's been part of the Odd Guild for a while.
I still have him listed as Dark Ace.
Dark Justice.
Dark Justice.
Now it's just odd justice.
No, it's not. Odd Guild was disbanded.
Now it's justice. So you haven't created your new guild yet?
A new guild, huh? Something for everyone? Shoot, I gotta think of a really cool name.
All right, well, I think what the rest of the guilds have to do is quite clear. We will gather our forces, get them the necessary accommodations in order to travel underwater, and we'll start trickling our way to the 20th floor. Once everyone has successfully unlocked the 20th floor, then we can make one unified player guild and teleport to the guild hall in Thessalia and march out our campaign from there.
You realize I'm the one that has to make it, right?
We have to
Are
buy
you
the
sure?
property first.
Well, getting a place to call our guild hall there, that's not the issue. I'm friends with the princess, and the king kind of owes me a huge favor.
I think giving the trident to you would have been the favor, right?
She's holding the trident.
No. Giving me the trident was the agreement. The favor comes from making his daughter the happiest princess in the world.
Well then, Zana, I think we all know what we have to do. We'll leave you for now and let you figure out all the particulars.
Okay, update your status in the chat logs, but keep them vague. Like accomplished or something, or items got. Don't say specifically what we're doing in chat. There's a reason I wanted to meet in person, and that's because I don't know how, but the only logical way I can explain that Camille has all the information she has is she's able to read other people's chat logs. Either that or be able to access the information in their brain. But I feel like chat logs makes more sense.
What information did she have?
information like that she shouldn't have, like where to find our guild hall on the 10th on the 10th floor
I
when
think that's
she's
public.
only ever been on the 15th.
I think that's publicly available information, but yeah, I guess. I suppose so.
Either way,
I thought the issue was she was an NPC, and that's what freaked us out.
update your status in the group chat, but be vague about it. We'll know what you're talking about.
Alrighty. And with that, all of the guild leaders head out, returning to their own respective guild halls.
Before they head out, genuinely, thank you.
It will be our honor to fight alongside you.
So with that, everyone is now within the confines of Stefan's underground facility for the time being, as the day is kind of coming to a close. A long, drawn-out speech gathering all of the guild leaders, ushering them in, and the conspiring plot to overthrow the game administrators themselves. The day is coming to a close, but feel free to familiarize yourself with all that is in the secret facility. You look around and you see that there are 2 armored cars, 3 motorbikes, crates of rations and supplies, as well as some futuristic weapons, as Odette was playing with, such as
She's holding the bucket, the trident,
shotgun.
and the gun right now.
Your hands are constantly full.
I have found treasure.
If I remember correctly, there is like a there's like a board or a whiteboard somewhere.
It's down here in the bottom right-hand corner, which is the planning area, where I figured all of you actually would have been.
So I clear off a space for the way. Nothing important, but I make a final guild name ideas, and I'll make bullet points, but nothing is written. All right, I guess this is probably the best place for us to bunk while, other stuff goes down.
Yeah, I mean, as it was made by even a lower-ranking guild administrator, it seems as if there does seem to be some layer of protection on it so that Camille can't find it. So that's really helpful.
Yeah.
All I know is that I think my legs are going to hang over those tiny bunk beds. I might have to take
You
the
can
couch.
push one of the crates,
No.
over so that you can have like a place for your feet. Crystal, do you have any calming tea?
Let's see. Adderall, coffee, Monster Energy drink, Red Bull, Mountain Dew Kickstart.
All of these are names we probably shouldn't say on air. Children, do not drink these things. They are bad for your health.
Oh man, where's Clyde when I want a decaf
I could mix all of them
frappuccino?
together and I'm pretty sure your heart would stop.
Maybe save that for the battle, that could be useful.
I might have some calming herbal medicine that you could take.
That would help. This has been a stressful day.
And you see as Selena walks over to the kitchen and puts a bottle.
Thank you. So, any suggestions?
I think we just prepare
Comments?
ourselves and then we go and take a nap and then prepare for the next day, whatever that may bring.
What if we call ourselves the Master Blasters?
Okay, well, you can put it on the board.
Yes!
Everybody gets one suggestion, though. One suggestion each. Lucian, did he head back with the
Nope.
Phoenix?
He stayed here.
Lucian,
Yes?
you're still here?
Well,
You,
Yes, I'm obviously still here. I'm standing
I'm
right here.
But, Asher left.
Yes, but he signed me to your party.
He did say he wanted you to be watched.
Oh, so you're like, okay, you just stay here the whole time. You don't
Yes.
say a lot. That makes me really uncomfortable.
But I
Makes
also
me think
don't
you're hiding something.
don't know you
That's-
guys that much. Like, what
I
am
mean,
I?
well, you
What
don't-
am I talking? What
you
am I
don't-
supposed to be talking about?
You don't get to know people unless you talk to them.
Oh, yes. No, so why are you here?
Yeah, Lucian, why are you here? He said you were excited about this for some reason. Why are you excited?
Well, let's just say I have a gripe against the company.
The
What
company?
company? That's so vague.
What do you mean? The company that trapped us in this game.
I think
What is
everyone
the
has a gripe
company's
against
name?
that company, honestly.
The company, the people that made the headset, the
Yes,
people that made the
I was working for them for a little while, and then I noticed something a little bit weird. Brought it up to my manager, and then the next day, I was locked out of the building. Couldn't even get in. No call, no anything. Just a little posted note saying I was fired.
Aw,
So you decided to
And
play?
I didn't get credit for any of the code that I made.
Code? You made some of the code?
Yes.
What kind of code? The code that like puts your brain into that sleep
No, it's
somnia
just general coding. Like I
the
did
game?
a lot of like the environment and stuff.
You mean like the redstone in Build Forge? So like when you hit the block, it lights up something?
So I was gonna get in the game and, cause havoc inside the game, but then I got trapped in the game, gonna try and find the bugs and stuff and try and crash it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I respect that at least. Good old vengeance.
Wow, very interesting. So you are a coder. You know what they say about coders?
No.
I don't know either. That's why I was asking you.
I don't think they say much about coders other than they code, I guess.
That's true. Well, anyway. S! Which bunk are you claiming?
None of them. I'll sleep in the air ducts.
You're not going to sleep in the air ducts, S. You have to sleep nearby.
The air ducts are nearby.
Take the wire up. How am I supposed to get to you, S?
That's the point.
No.
Poor man has to sleep in the air ducts now.
Just to get some space.
Fine. I will sleep directly under the air duct, even though I hate the air on my skin. And I assume it is this bunk right here.
Alrighty. So, slowly but surely, everyone does begin.
Oh, Grundle, you're right across of me. This is great. We can play cards and throw... Oh, never mind. Goodbye, Grundle.
We'll do this. There you go.
Oh, we can play cards. Los cartos muertos.
Lucien will just take one of the bunk beds closest to the, door.
With the plans of getting everyone together and heading out to the 20th floor.
I like the name for this, by the way. It's the plan to get everyone together.
Yeah, the plan.
That's the code name. The plan to get everyone together. Yeah.
She really likes this. She writes it down.
All right. TPTGET. Tibajiget.
Get for short.
Yes. Code name Get. Is that our guild name?
Get. I mean, hey, no one suggested a better one.
That's true. No one has.
So, with the remnants of the AOD Guild and some of their newfound compatriots all coming to a close, they lay down to rest for the evening.
Bonkshu. But in Spanish.
But in Spanish. Imagine snoring, but Spanish.
But in Spanish.
All right, everyone, for me, please roll a perception check.
21.
Lucien's perception is a 34.
Zana's perception is a 26.
So, Lucien, it is deep in the night. You're not quite sure the hour, but it feels in that twilight between dawn and dusk. Not even night owls nor morning birds are awake. And you begin to hear a clanging in the ventilation system. At first, you kind of dismiss it because, that's where S is sleeping, because he's got to maintain some sort of distance from Odette. But
Hey.
Eventually, you realize that it is more than you would have initially anticipated. And furthermore, there are numerous footsteps. You sit up and you kind of begin to survey the area around you, but as you can see quite clearly, it's very dark. You recall that there is a light switch over by the primary entrance to the underground facility.
I cast light.
It was strange. It sounded as if there were numerous footsteps walking around, but you see that everyone is asleep in their beds. But now that there's a light source, a few individuals are kind of groggily waking up.
Turn the light out. It's the right.
What's going on?
I heard a lot of footsteps.
Zana immediately pulls out her dagger and hops out of the bed
Which direction do you hop? To the right or left?
to the left.
As you jump out of bed, you're a little groggy. You stumble a little bit, but you swear that you make contact with something.
As soon as I feel contact with something, I will try to put my arms around it, or hands. I will try to grapple whatever I feel touching me. I'm very aware of how invisible people can be.
All right, so go ahead, roll a grapple check.
And as I roll the grapple check, I would also like to roll an intimidate. Dang, hold it there.
What are you intimidating?
whoever I'm grabbing, the invisible people in here.
We don't know if there's invisible people. What if it's an invisible fly?
I am invisible people. I be invisible people all the time.
You swipe at the air in front of you, thinking that there's some invisible creature, but your arms catch nothing but air.
And now I'd like to roll my intimidate.
Sure.
Of show yourself. 35 for my intimidate. I'm not playing around. Show yourself. It's not a secret you're in here and invincible. I have the same tricks up in my sleeve. Look, I got a long day tomorrow. Whatever you want, we can talk about it.
As you say, show yourself, eerily, almost from right in front of you, but slightly underneath, you hear a, as you wish. And you feel a sharp, piercing pain in your left side.
Ow!
You take 38 damage.
38? Well, that's sneak attack damage for you.
There is, or was, at the very least, an invisible assassin. Now there just is an assassin standing before you, rapier plunged deep in your side as you see he's twisting it slightly. And I'm going to need you to make a fortitude save.
Fortitude.
Fortitude.
Still not good.
You take a -1 penalty to your constitution. You're going to effectively lose 13 HP. And as that occurs, you notice that there's not only an assassin before you, but rather you see as a whole host of assassins stab their daggers into the beds in front of them. Everyone, go ahead and roll initiative. Odette, that one would have attacked you as well, so...
My AC is not very high, and I'm also prone, so I'm at a -4 penalty. Quentin, he just hits. Guaranteed.
Yeah, but I have to roll to see if it reaches a critical threshold.
Well, guys, it was nice seeing you. Odette might not be here anymore.
I see Zana has a 25, Odette has a 19, Larry has a 13. Odette, you are going to take 20 damage.
Ah!
You're also stabbed with a dagger. And I'm going to need a fortitude save.
Okay, I can do that. A 28.
This puny poison has no effect on you as you've been spending time with the poison eaters out in the wilderness. It's actually just laced in all of their food, so you've built up an immunity to iocane powder.
First thing she says, though, and when she has a chance,
S!
The only one the assassins couldn't get to.
With that, Zana, it is your turn.
I'm going to, even if the rapier is still in me, I'm going to try and slash at that dude, because if that's in me, that means he's in hitting range.
That's true.
And I would like to
Oh,
roll...
he's perfectly visible. He's right in front of you.
I'd like to roll both of my, use my full round action as attack. My first attack is a 22, and my second attack is a natural critical.
The first one, you kind of slash and you graze his shoulder ever so slightly, but now that you've measured up his posture, you know right where his vital is, and you plunge your dagger of black sands deep into his side, right between his ribs.
May I say something to him as I stab him?
Absolutely.
Tell Camille I said hi. It's funny because I'm killing him. He can't say anything. So, my first attack would be 4, and then my critical damage is a total of 10.
With Zana striking back at her would-be assassin, we pan over back towards Odette, where it seems as if the man who has her marked slashes out yet again with his blade, dealing another 5 damage to you.
Ow! I'm up! Jeez Louise, hurry up!
You see as the assassin that had marked Crystal actually just does a tumble roll over Zana's bunk bed and is now actually on the bookshelf behind you.
Oh, dang, they flanking me?
The individual in front of you shouts out to all of his compatriots, "Make sure you get your mark." But now, as he is flanking, you are considered flat-footed, so you are going to take some more sneak attack damage, Zana.
No! I do this to people.
How does it feel when the foot is on the other shoe?
It doesn't feel good. It really doesn't feel good. Feels like stabby.
What's your health looking like right now?
22 out of 79. Odette, it is your turn.
all right, I'm in a really weird predicament here. I'm going to take a 5-foot step back on top of my bed, and then I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself.
Very nice.
So that I'm not, like, you know...
Having an AC of like 12. As casters generally do.
Aha! Callahan,
All right, that's the end of my turn.
Most of us don't have our armor on, right? Because we were sleepy.
Yeah. Speaking of which, as per requested, Gallahan, flipping the switch, surveying his surroundings and his area, sees that his sister is currently in between two assassins, so he rolls off of his cot, moving to his left-hand side to be closer to Selena, pushing one of the assassins out of the way. With that, Lucian, it is your turn.
Lucian, right in
All
front
right.
of you is someone who's been stabbed twice and is coughing up blood.
So Lucian is gonna cast Command Greater.
Okay.
I can hit one per level, so I can hit all of them, and say stop.
I'm gonna die. They're gonna kill me.
I'm gonna actually use some of my towards where Zana is.
So you command all of the assassins as you beckon out into the night. Stop! And you see as all of them, compelled against their will, freeze in place. And with that, it is S's turn. Odette, as you have beckoned for your legendary hero,
That's right,
you
exactly.
see as he comes flying out from the ventilation, his hands grip the bottom of the ventilation shaft. He swings his legs over, kicks this guy, flying right into him, sending him flying 5 feet closer to Grundle, if anything. But then you see him slash out with his Kusarigama, and this helpless assassin takes a decent chunk of damage. Lucian, as you have commanded out the word stop to all of the assassins before you that you see, you notice as another assassin snuck up behind you. This angry assassin was so blinded by rage that he critically failed. Your shoulders are slightly grazed, but you feel no damage, and then you look behind and you see there is an assassin with a blade, but it seems as if he was unable to cut you. A number of the assassins are frozen in place by your command. Grundle, turning, noticing that there are two of these hooded figures behind him, just jumps up from where he is. Oh, geez. Oh, man. No, thank you. And he just runs, just leaps off of his bed, clambering down, falling a little, and then scampers over and away. Crystal goes, runs, does a flip off of her bed, winks over at you and says, "Thanks, Lucian! Sneak attack!" Crystal attacking this individual who is now frozen in place thanks to your spell. She digs her dagger deep in between the assassin's shoulder blades. At this moment in time, Grog is charging over. The assassins still all halted. Selena reaches over to the bedside shelf that is standing next to her, and she just grabs her wooden staff, heaves it over, and you see as it begins to glow and emanate with light as she strikes the individual right on top of the head. And you notice as a tiny little spider crawls off the staff and onto the assassin. Zana, it's your turn.
So, funny enough, I will be attacking with my Dagger of Black Sands again, both of them, but this time I'm hoping that one of them fails.
You can also just move. They're commanded to stop. You won't get attacks of opportunity.
I would like to do that.
So I will say, you are literally boxed in. Roll an acrobatics check to maneuver your way through the difficult terrain of all of the combatants and bunk beds you are surrounded by.
That would be 22 for my acrobatics.
All right, which direction would you like to move in?
To the right, that was my movement action. Do I have time to use a spell?
Yes, after you reposition, if you would like to cast a spell, you may. You do a tumble through, doing a tuck and roll in between the two bunk beds. You roll over, landing on your feet, so that you are now back to back with Crystal. And what spell would you like to cast?
Celestial Healing Greater on myself.
The target gains fast healing level 4, and you begin radiating an aura of good. So at the top of each of your rounds, you will regain 4 HP. Is there anything you'd like to have Alistair do? He was sleeping over in the training arena as him and Indiana were all tuckered out after their very intense Pokemon battle.
I'd like him to come near the fray, disguised as me.
He moves over and he transforms into you, so it looks like there's a copy of you waving your arms over by the edge of the arena like, "Hey, come get me!" You notice as this helpless assassin, the assassin that S previously kicked away from Odette, you see as he pulls out a short bow, and actually he kneels a little bit so that he's able to view in between the two bunk beds as there's a slight opening, and he shoots his short bow and is aiming at you again, Zana. You take another 2 damage. Odette, it is your turn.
Okay. I am going to have her hop down off the top of the bed, backing up and moving slightly behind where Grog is right now, and I'm going to target the jealous assassin that is right in front of Gallahan.
It's true.
And then from there, the secondary target would be within 30 feet. Yeah, I think it'll be the shy assassin. 1 secondary target per level.
So you could theoretically chain lightning and hit all of them.
Yeah, let's do that. They get a reflex of 20. Otherwise, I'm dealing 48 damage.
I'm assuming reflex for half?
Yes. I'm hitting the one that is in front of Lucian, the one that is catty-cornered to Selena, and the one that was at Grundle's bed, the helpless assassin that attacked me, and obviously the jealous assassin in front of Gallahan.
Okay. So the helpless assassin and the contract killer, both of them are going to take half damage, but everyone else takes full.
Take that, you fools!
Okay, apparently the shy assassin died?
Yeah, he was already. That's the one that was sneak attacked by Crystal and also bonked over the head by Selena's shillelagh, and then just got struck for 48 lightning damage.
That's right, Des. Good job. You did
You
it.
just see as this person is electrocuted and they just collapse to the ground, completely fried and convulsing.
That's kind of unfortunate for him. I'm sorry. But anyway, that's the end of my turn. Indiana, come here, you fool. You're too far away from Mommy.
Everyone, roll a perception check.
Oof, I rolled a 5. Still 25, but still.
Odette's is a 10.
Aha! Take that, you fools.
25.
Odette, I see that you had Indiana move. Is there anything else that you would like him to do this turn?
He is going to perch on her shoulder for the time being.
Oh, a power pose.
Aha.
Gallahan grabs his shield that was resting at the foot of the bed and turns and casts a spell on Selena. Lucian, it is your turn.
So I am teleporting 15 feet. I would like to teleport behind Zana, and then I would like to cast Cure Critical Wounds on her. It healed for 30. Looking a little more healthy.
Oh, thank you, Lucian. Thank you.
With that, it is just Essie's turn. S slashes out with his Kusarigama and chain, and you see as it cuts deep into the assassin who just shot at Zana. Zana, you see as the angry assassin that was striking out at Lucian pulls out a short bow as Lucian is no longer within his reach, and he shoots you right in the back. You see as this assassin in front of Gallahan notices that Gallahan has his shield raised and has cast some sort of protective spell on Selena, so he turns, running away from them, and goes straight up to Crystal, who has already been injured once. Lashes out, striking her with his dagger.
Does she look like she's very hurt?
She's definitely going to after this. The other assassin that is outside of the resting quarters, kind of on the other side of the bookshelves and bunk beds, also similar to the first one, crouches down, pulling out a short bow and shoots in between the bunk beds. He goes and shoots her with an arrow, and she looks like she is bloodied. You see as Grundling, he turns around and he shouts, "Special delivery for ya!" He throws a bomb, which explodes right in between the two who are shooting in between the beds. It blasts both of them, dropping them far into the red, but also launching them out from the epicenter of where they were, knocking both of them back 10 feet as one just falls to the ground and another one falls and lands right in front of us. He is prone and just staring up at this merciless ninja who stands above him loomingly. And then Grundle continues to run away.
Very nice. You mean Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Crystal lashes out at the assassin in front of her, trying to cut him right at the ankles. And it seems as if she does slash at his legs from her lower vantage point. The cloaked figure adorned in golden pauldrons who kind of initiated this whole encounter pulls out a needle and throws it at his still stunned compatriot down here.
Snap out of it, you damn fool! Get back to work!
And you see as just this little tiny needle just sticks right into his neck. And it looks as if this contract killer skirts his way around and outside of the sleeping quarters and is actually making his way over to one of his injured compatriots right now, who is more towards the main entrance, and he's kind of taking shelter behind one of these bookshelves. Grog, barreling in, flies into a barbarian rage, as everyone would expect, and he just wastes absolutely no time pummeling this assassin right before Crystal into the ground with his bare hands, grasping them together to make one giant fist. He just pounds it right in between the man's shoulders blades and knocks him prone, also dealing a rather sizable chunk of damage. You see as Selena is sat up and heals Galahad. Zana, it is your turn.
So I, on the other side of the beds, where the majority of our would-be assassins are, I would like to summon 1d3 of Rhinoceros. I got 3.
So you summon a literal crash of rhinos as 3 of them come in and begin immediately trampling the assassins on the other side. You notice as one man just dies instantly, crushed underneath their feet. Another one is gored by one of their horns.
Yeah, that gore damage do 2d6 plus 9, so it's very nice.
But it did cause quite the distraction in the main area. And with that, would you like Alistair to do anything?
I'd like him to get closer to the bunk beds.
He can fly to the foot of the bunk bed that Odette was resting on.
As long as he's not on the bed next to it.
He's perched on the lip of the bed.
Did he change back into a bird?
So he's just an illusion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he's still a bird.
He's
It's just he looks like a person. So you just see as Zana just flaps her arms and just glide, T-poses almost to the edge of the bed and just lands there.
No, they don't have those graphics in. You just T-pose and you see the icon.
just glides over and all of a sudden no longer standing on the edge of the arena, but rather on the edge of the bed.
That'll work.
The one assassin at the feet of S attempts to be clever, taking a 5-foot step out of S's range before drinking a health potion, but doesn't realize that Kusarigamas have reach. So he pops the cork on a health potion, tries to drink it, and as you do, instead of liquid hitting his throat, S lashes out with the chain, wrapping it around his neck and pulling him forward, breaking the man's neck as he falls dead.
Impressive.
You see as this man goes to slash out with a dark blade, which is brimming with evil energy. And he goes to strike you, but as he does, you hear Crystal shout, "Watch out!" And she pushes you out of the way.
No!
But as she does, the blade comes down and you see as it slices right at her wrist,
Her hand?
cutting off her left hand.
No! Dang it, somebody's gotta lose a limb.
So you're pushed 5 feet out of the way of that very debilitating critical strike that would have absolutely marked you. Crystal has decided to take the hit for you. But in doing so, she has lost one of her hands, and you hear as her hand and the dagger she was wielding in it clatters to the ground.
Oh my gosh.
Odette, it is your turn.
Okay, Odette moves forward a little bit. She's going to cast Chain Lightning again, and it should be able to hit everybody in this area. They need to make reflex for half. Damage is 41.
The first guy that you strike just immediately gets fried and dies as he had 5 HP remaining. So there was no dodging for him. He was prone and already on the brink of death as Grog absolutely smashed him into the ground. He was already a bloody pulp. All this man was a conduit for lightning to arc towards others.
Wonderful.
The other two do, however, take half damage.
All right, well, I'm going to cast Heal on Crystal.
Uh-huh. Are you gonna hand it to her? You really gotta hand it to her. You said you could apply people's limbs again.
I can, but I don't have that spell prepared today.
Oh my gosh, man!
I'm gonna have to prepare it
one day.
tomorrow. I'm gonna have to prepare it tomorrow.
Okay, well, it's a good thing we have the. Okay, well, you know what? All right.
It's healing her for 130 damage.
So you do see as the radiant aura covers her like a thin veil, and the scrapes and cuts begin to close, and her open wound where there once was a hand, the now severed limb, it almost regrows the skin, but is now just a stub.
He will move over to... I guess he'll use his teleport feature again to move over towards where his equipment would be stored.
With that, it is S's turn, but he doesn't particularly have anyone in range. So, yeah, he would kind of... Honestly, he'd just go up and start looting this dead body next to him. No one else is in range.
And also there's a bunch of
There's
rhinos.
just a bunch of rhinos over there. He doesn't want to mess with that, man. Speaking of which, this one assassin over here also doesn't want to deal with a bunch of rhinos, so he just turns to leave the facility through the exit, which is right behind him. So yeah, he just goes over and pulls the lever.
How does he know where the lever is?
See his eyes?
Does he know where the lever is? Does he know that's the correct lever? That,
Well,
in
the
fact,
only-
is the decoy lever. Would he not provoke an attack of opportunity by moving outside of the range of my rhino?
But he does. He goes and he pulls. So the one assassin who is currently kind of betwixt two rhinos right now attempts to maneuver himself to pull the lever to open up the secret entrance hatch for all of the vehicles. But in doing so, he does provoke 2 attacks as the rhinos thrust out with their horns.
Get him.
It seems as he just like tumbles and just dodges both of these rhinos, pulls the lever, and the light starts flashing and the door starts lifting.
Brundle, get the lever. You're the only one over there. It's up to you.
You see as Grundle mounts one of the motorcycles, revs the engine, and drives charging right at the guy who just pulled the lever, trying to crash into him.
Nice. So anyway, I started crashing.
So anyways, I started crashing.
This is your crash course on sneak attack.
Pops a wheelie, jumps.
Pops a wheelie, jumps the motorcycle. He's trying to crash it anyways. So Grundle crashes, knocks into the guy. The motorcycle and Grundle kind of both go flying as the assassin is slammed by this motorcycle, but Grundle is unable to flip the lever as the door is still opening. It is Crystal's turn, who has tears in her eyes and is screaming in agony, even though she was still healed. With tears welling in her eyes, she lashes out with her other dagger in her non-dominant right hand at the assassin who took her limb. Perception checks, if you would, and Odette, you can make an Arcana check if you want.
Okay.
Is it just Odette who can make it? Well, actually, my perception's better than my Arcana.
It's literally my class today.
She is an Arcanist, so if you want to, you can make an Arcana check, but I just figured she would have the highest Arcana out of everyone.
I rolled a 7. 27.
Is this perception or knowledge arcana?
Perception.
You'd be a Perception. I mean, you can roll a Knowledge Arcana as well.
I do have knowledge arcana. It's actually higher than my perception by 2.
You can go for it.
29.
It's a nat negative crit.
Nice. Okay, so you will have to piece this together as you will. Odette, you notice that pulls out a scroll and casts a relatively high-level spell from the School of Evocation. You don't immediately see anything occur.
Which individual? I'm so sorry.
The contract killer, the individual who has a cloak on but has gold pauldrons that sets himself out kind of from amongst the rest. You see him pull out a scroll, and he successfully uses it, but you don't see any immediate effect, even though it is of the School of Evocation. And Lucian, you hear the man as he whispers, "Focus en melis caras."
Can I roll knowledge on that?
If you have linguistics?
No. Don't have anything really.
No? Okay.
I mean, I have like 2 points, but that's not going to do it.
Yeah, so you hear as the man says, "Focus en melis caras." And a spell is certainly cast. With that, though, he makes an acrobatics check and tumbles in between Crystal and Zana. Just diving in between the two beds, doing a tumble, tucking, rolling, and getting in between the two.
I swear to God, if it's fireball.
Grog pushes Gallahan out of the way, grabs and just picks Crystal up. and moves her, setting her on the same bed as Selena. Selena casts a spell, and from underneath Grog's feet, you see beginning to glow and radiate a little tiny spider. And it launches, jumping in between the beds, but as it jumps and launches itself, it grows bigger and bigger and bigger until it is the same size as the assassin, which is currently sinking its fangs deep into. And you see as the assassin begins to stiffen up, and it's almost as if he's frozen, stuck in place. Top of the round, Zana, it's your turn.
Well, seeing how there's 2 assassins next to me, and all the big boys, big hitters are also next to me, and how Crystal is safe, I'm going to use my Maker's Call and switch places immediately with my Eidolon. Who's up on that edge bed over there?
Sure. So you immediately swap places with Alistair Crow, and you are now standing right next to Odette.
Okay, I would like to reiterate that Alistair still looks like Zana right now.
Mhm.
So while there may have been a poof or whatever, it still looks like Zana's standing there. As for me, do we even have time to cast one more spell if I don't move?
Yeah, Maker's Call, is it a movement action?
No, it's actually a Master's Escape.
It is a standard action.
Yeah, standard action.
So you would still be able to move. Your natural movement, you cast a spell, which would provoke an attack of opportunity from both of them.
Well,
But it looks as if the one individual who was just bit by a giant spider that is now climbing on its back, his eyes dart in your direction, but you just hear as he winces and grunts in pain, and it looks like he's unable to move right now. However, the other individual, who was the person who initiated this whole thing, he slashes at you once again with his rapier.
moi? Or
No,
or
moi,
fra?
because it's before the spell goes off.
Ah.
Because it is the spell that's triggering the attack of opportunity. As it scratches your cheek right before your spell goes off, and you vanish. Poof. And you swap places.
He marked me. Smart. As if my clothes aren't already bloodied.
Right. Did you want to do anything else? You still have a move action. so-
I would like to use my move action to move as much as I can towards the door that is currently opening.
The one that is opening, okay. You are currently on top of a bunk bed, so you would have to
Roll acrobatics.
roll an acrobatics to get down.
It's cool. I got acrobatics. Right? Right, Zana? You
Right.
have acrobatics.
Of course, why wouldn't you?
You can roll acrobatics. That's a 22 for acrobatics.
You are able to tumble over, vaulting not only past the bunk beds, but also the bookshelf, and you manage to leap, do a little tumble, and land on your feet right next to one of the rhinoceroses over by the lever, but you are still a good 40 feet away from the lever. It looks as if this person was just going to shove you out of the way anyways, so he just brushes past the illusion and it kind of disperses and then reforms, and then he just charges past you, running for the exit. And this guy just dips.
How can he run that much?
Because he's not taking a standard action. He's just running. Yeah, it was the guy with the black dagger. He's trying to run away. He does technically run past your square. Are you trained with unarmed strike?
No.
Okay, then it does not provoke an attack of opportunity for you. With that, that is his turn. Odette, it's your turn.
Oh, gracious. Okay, all right.
There are only 2 individuals left. There
And I
is-
don't know what spell that was being cast. I just know that it was evocation.
You know, it was an evocation.
And it's already been cast.
Already been cast, and the person who cast it is standing right in front of you. The only person standing between you and him is Galahad.
Everyone's kind of standing in the way. Otherwise, I would throw black tentacles down. I'm going to use Air Geyser.
Okay.
On the man who had cast a spell. So, Air Geyser says you create a powerful blast. He needs to make a reflex save against it. The DC 17. If he fails the reflex, then he's going to take 2d6 points of bludgeoning damage, and he'll be hurled upward very forcefully into the ceiling, which is only 20 feet high, which probably will kill him. 10 damage. And then he'll take fall damage if any is to be had.
So he gets blasted up into the ceiling, crashes into it on his back, and then just falls flat down on his face. And you see that he is knocked unconscious.
All right. Is there anybody else left?
Just the ones escaping.
Ignore them for now. We need to regroup.
That's what they're doing.
Callahan walks back over to his bed and begins sifting through his equipment. It seems as if he is pulling out a rope. Lucian, it is your turn.
All right.
One individual who just ran just outside the threshold of the door, and there's another man currently standing by the lever.
All right, I'm going to use more of my teleporting ability to teleport up towards where the rhino is to see if I can see the guy who's leaving through the door.
Yes, you absolutely can.
I'm going to cast Hold Person on the one that's like 5 feet outside the door.
Sure, sounds good. He is definitely snagged.
And that would be my turn because that's my movement and my action.
Right, you held this person just outside the threshold of the door, snagging that one person, but as you do, the person who initially grabbed the lever flicks it back closed, but then as it's closing, tumbles underneath and starts running away. So the door is closing and he is running through. And as the combat ends, you gather up the 2 remaining individuals you have captured. The one individual in the golden pauldrons and the other would-be assassin that is dressed all the same as the rest. Gallahan has tied them both in rope that he gathered from his equipment, and you are all kind of just gathered around them. I think, at least for now, this is where we're going to end this week's episode of The Odd Campaign. Thanks for listening to this week's episode, Foundlings. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to leave us a rating and review on your favorite podcast listening app and follow us on social media on X and Instagram at RollFound. You also, if you want to interact with us on other ways or more directly, you can feel free to join our Discord and tell us all your favorite moments and conspiracy theories. All of the links are down in the description below. If you wanted to help support the podcast monetarily and get exclusive bonus content, early releases to episodes, you can go ahead and join us in our Patreon. Also, a very special thank you and shout out from us. So thank you, Patreon supporters currently, Jason Lillis and Stephen Howland. Also, a very special thank you and shout out to all of the individuals who provided music and ambiance for today's episode. So thank you to Michael Ghelfi of Michael Ghelfi Studios and Monument Studios for providing music and ambiance for today's session. Also, all of their links and attributions are down in the description below. Thank you all, and I hope to see you next week on Sword Art Online Odd.
Bye.
Bye.